Friends, as we continue observing Easter, let us reflect on the courage, the hope, and the strength that the risen Lord gives us. Brothers and sisters, the resurrection of our Lord happened in the past, but it remains always new, eternally new. It is ancient because it happened 2,000 years ago, but it is always new because Jesus has entered the pure realm of divinity and eternity. It is new because of the gift of faith it offers to us. It is always new because of the church, the community of believers that hopes to share in the Lord's resurrection one day. We recall St. Paul, who reminds the church in Corinth and us, if Christ had not been raised from the dead, then the preaching of the apostles and the faith of the believers are useless. We may say then, the resurrection is at the core of the Christian message, of the faith it evokes, and of the community it forms. But what does the resurrection enable us to become and to do? As we heard from the first reading, it enables us to become courageous. That Jesus endured the pain which his passion and death brought, but ended triumphant in his resurrection, can only embolden us in living out the faith amidst adversity and in remaining faithful to our mission despite opposition. We remember, as witnesses to the courage that comes from the risen Lord, those who have been martyred even in our own time. They responded to those who challenged their faith gently and courageously, not fearing anything because it is the Lord who is their help. The resurrection also enables us to be hopeful. Pope Francis tells us, without this faith in the death and resurrection of Jesus, our hope would be weak. The death and resurrection of Jesus are the heart of our hope. These fundamental events remind us that sin and death do not have the final word. Rather, it is God, who is mercy and justice, who has the last say. God gives us new life in Jesus. Again, this is our hope, that we share in the victory of Christ, that we partake in the promise of his resurrection. Thus, we can only agree with Pope Francis, do not let yourselves be robbed of hope. Finally, the resurrection strengthens us. Earlier in the Gospel, we behold the risen Lord hosting a meal for his disciples. The risen Lord does not only feed them, but also awakens and strengthens their faith. The beloved disciple exclaims, "It is the Lord," at the sight of him who led them to a miraculous catch of fish. The risen Lord strengthens the weary and tired. The risen Lord strengthens us through his word and our communion with him and with fellow believers. We experience this at every Mass. There you go, brothers and sisters. The risen Lord enables us to become courageous believers. He is our hope. He is our strength.